This guy was going to go tour here for a second. Might still.
I got so big, tired Friday night. I was exhausted. That freaking parade wore me out.
Yeah. And I came in on Saturday.
Yeah.
And then helped out last night too, watching it. Found out one of our storm chasers was down on that storm in Madison. He didn't know that that was our viewing area. And I said, dude, anytime you're in Kansas, let me know. Because he got the tour.
This garage is melting down, damn it. The race for Kansas governor is getting crowded. Who joined the race on this final day to file and who the candidates' running mates will be.
Storms are tracking across Kansas tonight. The pattern will stay consistent. Who sees more severe weather this week at 10? Thank you. You said he's breaking down? Hard on himself?
He's like
Perfectionist?
I think Xena times 10. He can't get out of his own way. He freaks out and he just.
Yeah. Restricted until 7 p.m. Let's bump this up to 8 o'clock here. Who would have the visual on this one? It would be Dodge, but also Garden could look good north. That's that storm. The other one's got to be over here. Okay, it's okay. Good evening, everybody. I am Chief Meteorologist Lisa Teachman, and this is behind the scenes of the KSN Storm Track 3 Weather Center. These are all the computers that we use to create the forecast and all the graphics that you see on TV. And if you have any weather questions for me, please go ahead and put it in the chat. I noticed that we do have about 42 eyeballs that are on this live, and we're going to continue to keep you updated from not only behind the scenes, but also on air as needed. And we've been tracking several thunderstorms in western Kansas so far for this evening. And one of the strongest ones has actually been in parts of Lane County. This thunderstorm's been slowing down. It's been producing some pretty large hail, but also at one time it did produce some winds that were gusting up to about 80 miles per hour. And you can see how it's tried to build a little bit farther to the south in parts of northern Finney County. Got a new severe thunderstorm warning for Scott and also Finney County. This will go in effect until 7:45. So this is going to be the new one that should be popping up here on our screen any moment now. But it looks like the main hail core has been passing just to the south of Alamota. Hail to the size of 2 inches possible. It does not look like we have as strong of winds with this storm like we did earlier, but it has slowed down, only going at about 10 miles per hour as it is tracking to the east. So we have the severe thunderstorm warning that will stay in effect now until 7:45. This is the hail core. It is staying to the south of Beeler. It continues to track eastward, and if it keeps on this eastward track, it looks like it is going to be passing just to the south of the Nest City area. So let's hope that this continues to stay in that direction. At one time, it did look like it had some rotation, that it might try to produce a tornado, and we are definitely expecting more hailstones as opposed to tornadic development out of all of these thunderstorms for this evening. But like I said, you could get a little spin that occurs in the atmosphere that may produce one of these tornadoes. So another thunderstorm. And I'm going to step back over here, and I'm going to put this marquee on it because it's prompted a new severe thunderstorm warning until 7:45 from Lane down toward Finney County. And you will also see on this that it looks like it's starting to take on more of the shape of a line. And as it takes on more of a line, and I think this is what's going to happen with every thunderstorm in parts of western Kansas for tonight, it's going to become more of a damaging wind threat. Now, with this line that's approaching Amy and staying just to the north of Garden City, there's some lighter rain over toward Garden City, but the heaviest, the most intense part of the storm is now just to the north. And winds with this are going to be at about 60 miles per hour. Hail looks like it is going to stay underneath quarter size. So that is some good news as it continues to push to the east. Taking a look at some of the other thunderstorms that we have farther to the north over toward Winona. And a severe thunderstorm warning is in effect here until 7:15. But we have a new warning that has now taken over toward Monument and Oakley as this pushes eastward until 8:15. So getting some of the details on this specific storm here, tracking to the east right now. And it is going to be capable of producing hail to the size of quarters. We could also see probably some pretty strong winds out of this as well, maybe between 60 and 65 miles per hour. So those of you that are going to be in the path of this, including Oakley and also Monument, it is pushing east at about 10 miles per hour, so it's still pretty slow here. But definitely taking on some of that hail to the east of Winona and also to the east of Brownville. That's just another one of multiple thunderstorms that has been firing up in parts of western Kansas. The development that we've had a little bit farther to the north over towards St. Francis and Bird City. Yeah, there's a few pockets of heavy downpours, but it looks like most of this is below the severe storm threshold. We have more thunderstorms that are just off to the west over toward northeastern Colorado and the Yuma area. And the Goodland National Weather Service office says that that's kicking up quite a bit of dust and dirt. So that is going to reduce visibility. If you have any family members that may be traveling in northeastern Colorado, they do need to be mindful of the possibility of some of this blowing dirt. A little bit further to the south, over toward southwestern Kansas and the Ulysses area, we have another severe thunderstorm warning. This includes Ulysses over toward Johnson, and this will be for 60-mile-per-hour winds. It is going to be tracking to the northeast at about 20 miles per hour. These thunderstorms have not been traveling that fast, and that is going to also become a problem. We do have some flood alerts. We have a flash flood warning that is in effect for Lane County. That's because we've had so much rainfall in such a short period of time that has caused flash flooding within the city. So severe thunderstorm warning until 7:45 from Johnson over toward Ulysses. Yeah, there's going to be some hail in that, but there's also going to be some of the winds to about 60 miles per hour. Tracking eastward at about 10 to 20 miles per hour. We have a severe thunderstorm thunderstorm watch that will stay in effect until midnight. My suspicion is that we're still going to be able to maintain some of the severage as it starts to push into eastern Kansas, the central and eastern parts of the state, primarily for damaging winds. So could we have another severe thunderstorm watch? Absolutely. There has not been talk just yet from the Storm Prediction Center. There have been a couple of discussions about activity down in Oklahoma, but at this time it does not look like they are going to extend a severe thunderstorm warning down into the panhandle of Oklahoma or even for west and west central Oklahoma at this time. Those of you from Hayes over toward McCook, Nebraska, Colby, Hill City, Goodland, along with Garden City, Dodge City, and also Liberal, please make sure that you are being weather aware and know that these thunderstorms are capable of producing the hail, but pretty soon we're going to start to see many more reports of some damaging winds with these thunderstorms. But just as quickly as the thunderstorms go up, they have become severe. The strongest wind gust that we have been able to receive so far was in the Dighton area with winds up to 80 miles per hour. That prompted earlier a destructive severe thunderstorm warning. Maybe your phones were alerted in Lane County and Dighton and surrounding areas. If you live outside of town, outside of Dighton, you may have received one of those WIAs or the wireless emergency alerts that was triggered because of the destructive tag that was put on that storm. Just got a report. It's also that same storm about 8 miles to the southwest of Beeler in Ness City. We just got a report of golf ball size hail. So winds to 70 with that storm, Lane County. It's going to be moving over toward Ness County, and also hail up to the size of golf balls. So that is going to do some damage. We also have the flash flood warning that is in effect for Lane County, stays in effect until 9 p.m. tonight, and a new flood alert that just came in for Logan County, an aerial flood advisory. What's the difference between a flash flood warning and an aerial flood advisory? Flash flood warning means that that water is going to quickly rise. An aerial flood warning or a flood advisory tells you that you have streams, creeks, and rivers that are running high. So Sherman County and Logan counties are both in the mix. But as for the flash flood warning, it is going to be in effect for Lane County that will stay in effect until 9 p.m. tonight. And we're going to continue to see even more thunderstorms that will be riding over this area, which could only cause more insult to injury with all of these thunderstorms for tonight. We've felt the humidity and even that moisture going back into western Kansas. Western Kansas has dew points in the 40s and 50s. It's still respectable. And the farther east you go, our dew points have been in the 60s and 70s, feeling like a steam bath in Wichita. And one of the highest places that we've seen for our dew points today has been over in the Lyon County area, including Emporia, because those of you in Lyon County and Emporia were hit by repeated thunderstorms last night. So you already have that moisture that's in the ground and things start to heat up. It just continues to feel even muggier. So flood alerts still in effect in the western half of the state. We have our severe storm outlook. You see the yellow that goes all the way up to I-135. That's because as these thunderstorms start to take away from their supercellular structure or discrete or individual, they're all going to take up into a line. And once they start to take up into a line, they're going to be pushing farther to the east. So they could still be producing some winds to 60 miles per hour while we're sleeping tonight, after the severe thunderstorm watch that's been issued for western and parts of west central Kansas is expired by about midnight. So let's go ahead and take you through the timeline. 8 o'clock tonight, our time right now as I'm chatting with you is at 7:08. At 8 o'clock, you can see thunderstorms in western Kansas and see how they really put the pedal to the metal and approach Hayes, Great Bend, Pratt, and Medicine Lodge at about midnight. And then they're going to continue to push a little bit farther to the east. And then you see more development in northwest Kansas and southwest Nebraska. This complex is just going to continue to build upon itself. It's going to be back building, and it's going to help to produce even more rounds of rainfall behind the initial first wave of these thunderstorms. That means we're going to have in central Kansas more rainfall through the morning. Looks like it's going to be a stormy start to the day. Then that basically runs out of gas. It moves out of here. The atmosphere becomes more stable, central and eastern Kansas. But then the question is, how quickly will western Kansas become unstable again? Because I think by about midnight, 1 a.m., Wednesday morning, it becomes unstable enough that we're back into severe weather mode. And then that pushes eastward, it dies, but it still continues to fester with showers and thunderstorms through early in the morning. And then Wednesday, we're going to do it all over again in western Kansas. So if you've been watching us, you have been told We have this risk for severe weather today, tomorrow, to Wednesday. The risk on Thursday is farther to the north, and that's the latest look from the Storm Prediction Center. We'll wait to see what happens tomorrow if they decide to bring that back into our neck of the woods, because it looks like we're going to have some pretty beefy thunderstorms by the time Thursday rolls around. But at that time, the axis is going to shift into the central parts of the state. Here it is Thursday morning. We have some of the leftovers, and then we start to see even more development. You get into the afternoon, you have that heating of the day. More thunderstorms, more showers are going to be bubbling up. We have a tropical atmosphere, which is going to allow more of these thunderstorms to develop, and then it starts to drop going into Friday, but I don't think we're going to be completely storm-free heading into the weekend. Our severe storm outlook for Tuesday. For tomorrow, similar areas to today. Could this be upgraded to a slight risk? Yes, that is definitely possible. And then on Wednesday, here it comes once again in western Kansas. They already have a slight risk farther up the road in north central Nebraska up through South Dakota. I know a lot of folks like to travel in that part of our country, South Dakota especially, once you get into the summer months. Our lows tonight, 50s in the west. We'll have more 60s in the central parts of the state, and then our temperatures for tomorrow will be climbing into the 80s. We'll be around 84 degrees for Wichita, 80 degrees in Colby, 85 in Pratt, and 84 in Dodge City. Looking at the next 7 days for Wichita and south central Kansas, daily storm chances. We have a chance for thunderstorms tomorrow morning into tomorrow afternoon. Then we get a little bit of a break. And then I'm expecting us to see more rounds of thunderstorms going into Wednesday and Thursday. Thursday, I think that's going to be more in the afternoon and evening around the Wichita area. And then there'll still be a few more around for Friday, Saturday. Sunday looks a little bit drier, but then even into next week, we could be battling more of these complexes of thunderstorms. Looking at our 7-day forecast for north central Kansas, not much of a change in temperatures. Our daytime highs stay consistent in the 80s. Overnight lows will be in the 60s. And then once we get to next Monday, you don't see as much thunderstorm development. Your temperature is going up. But hey, you know what also goes up? Humidity. And it's going to be steamy all the next 7 days. Southwest Kansas, thunderstorms tonight. We have the severe thunderstorm watch that stays in effect until midnight. We've had multiple warnings that have been in effect for hail and also high winds. We have not, knock on wood, any tornado warnings so far this evening, but within severe weather, within a severe thunderstorm watch, yes, you can get that. But the reason they opted for the severe thunderstorm watch is because you're going to have a higher likelihood of the hail and then eventually the high winds. And northwest Kansas also remains, along with several of our counties in southwest Nebraska, of a severe thunderstorm watch for tonight. And we're going to have probably more watches Tuesday evening and Wednesday evening. I'm going to slide over here to my weather computer, and I'm going to switch this over so we can go through the watch once again and some of the warnings. One of the strongest storms is going to be this guy right here over toward Lane County and also northern Hodgman County, and also Finney County. It's northeastern Finney County over toward northwestern Hodgman County. All right in here, you could get some of that hail. And to the south of Beeler, we have already had reports of golf ball size hail. This is our watch, our severe thunderstorm watch, that will stay in effect until midnight. And I do suspect that we may have another watch that will be coming farther downstream across the eastern parts of the state as this all forms into a line. So these are going to lose their individuality. They're not going to be all by themselves. They're all going to join together. They're going to congeal into a line, and that's when our damaging wind threat will start to go up. So if you guys have any questions, please feel free to put them in the comment section. I will be back to continue to keep you updated right here and online, and always online at KSN.com and our digital streaming channels. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, we're on X. We want to make sure that you and your family are kept safe. Plus, we will continue to do frequent updates as needed right here on KSN. Hi everyone, KSN Storm Track 3 Chief Meteorologist Lisa Teachman coming to you from our Weather Center. Keeping a close eye on this one storm that has prompted a severe thunderstorm warning that does have a possible tornado tag on it. What that basically means is that there's some rotation associated with it that may lead to a tornado. There is no tornado warning that is currently in effect from southeastern Thomas County into northeastern Logan County. And this storm is moving eastward at about 10 miles per hour. It's also capable of producing 60-mile-per-hour winds and $half-dollar size hail. The rotation here, and I'm going to show you what we've been looking at here behind the scenes. So there's definitely some hail in this east of Brownville, right on top of Monument, probably getting some of that $half-dollar size hail. I'm going to look at some of our other products, some of our velocity products, and it just doesn't look as well defined as it did a little while ago. And I'm looking at our shear rate, so if we do have the potential to see a tornado, it's actually going to be to the northeast of Monument, right where you see this sink drain, just to the west of the Oakley area. There is no tornado warning, like I said. This is more hail and high winds, but it is tracking eastward, and we're going to continue to monitor this storm along with so many other thunderstorms across the KSN viewing area. But large hail, winds to 60. Tornado cannot be ruled out with a storm that has prompted a severe thunderstorm warning for southern Thomas County into northern Logan County, including Monument over toward Oakley and Mingo. If you're in the path of this storm, please make sure that you are indoors, away from windows and the most interior portion of your house. Keep it here. We'll continue to keep you advised. We're broadcasting on all of our social media channels from Facebook to X. We're also on YouTube, and we'll continue to keep you advised on air at KSN and KSN.com. Hi everyone, Chief Meteorologist Lisa Teachman jumping back in to give you an update on our severe storm threat. This one storm that we've been tracking that's prompted a severe thunderstorm warning to the south of the Colby area for Thomas County, but also for a sliver of northern Logan County over toward Monument. They have now dropped the tornado warning tag from this, or I should say tornado tag, because it was showing some signs of rotation to the west of the Oakley area. Rather disorganized at this hour, but if this tries to ramp back up, we'll definitely let you know about that. Let's go ahead and go through some of the other storms that we're tracking. And you can see on one side of your screen, if you're watching us on X, if you're watching us on Facebook, if you're watching us on YouTube or our digital streaming service, welcome. Glad that you are here watching our severe storm threat for tonight. We'll continue to keep you advised. This is one storm, but in northwest Kansas, a lot of this is just turned over to some much needed rain with a few heavier pockets. Now we have a line of some damaging storms from Lane County. Lane County just seems to be the one that continues to get hit more and more. And we also have Finney County to the east of Garden City under a severe thunderstorm warning. We also have Gray County from the Pierceville area over towards Cimarron under a separate severe thunderstorm warning until 8 p.m. I'm going to switch away from the Goodland National Weather Service office, go over toward Dodge. Looks a little bit better, much more definition here. And from Dighton area down toward eastern Finney County and on down toward Gray County, this is going to be more damaging winds basically from about 60 miles per hour. But could we get some gusts that could approach 70 miles per hour? Absolutely. It looks like it's going to be pushing eastward. We also have another strong thunderstorm on the leading edge of this, Ness City, prompting a severe thunderstorm warning until 8:15. Also Hodgman County. This is going to cut it pretty close just to the north of the Jetmore area. There's going to be some hail in here. It could be to the size of quarters. Could also have some of the 60-mile-per-hour winds. We're going to continue to monitor if there's going to be any tornadic development, but right now I think this is going to quickly be transitioning over to a damaging wind event. Also, severe thunderstorm warning over toward Ulysses. That's some heavy rainfall moving through in Grant County. Also, the warning extends down towards Stevens County along with Morton, and the strongest has now pushed to the east of Stanton County along with southeastern Hamilton County. So that warning is set to expire here within the next less than 15 minutes, but like I said, the strongest is now off to the east of you from southern Kearney County, but the main brunt of this is going to be from Grant County down into northwestern Stevens County to the north and also to the west of Moscow. Damaging winds, large hail, primary concerns. The largest hailstones that we have had so far for this evening has been the size of golf balls that was reported south of the Beeler area, and we also had some winds up to about 80 miles per hour in the Dighton area. That's the one storm that is now pushing through Ness and also Hodgman County. So we have a severe thunderstorm watch that has now been expanded farther to the north. So this does include all of our counties in southwest Nebraska. This is going to go until 2 a.m. now. This also extends over toward Rush County. So what's interesting is that you have some of these counties that are going to expire at midnight, but others at 2 a.m. And it's a difference from Graham County to Rooks County. Midnight is your expiration time for Graham County, but Rooks County is until 2 a.m. So this is a different National Weather Service office adding in some of their counties and just adding a little bit more time to them. Furnace County until 2 a.m. in Nebraska, Phillips County in Kansas until 2 a.m. along with Rooks until 2 a.m. But Ellis County, it is set to expire at midnight. Could we have additional watches through central Kansas that could include I-135 from Salina toward Wichita? Just depends on how things are going to go with this line of thunderstorms. But it's quickly starting to organize, but it's also slow moving. It's probably not going to arrive in the Wichita area until after 2 a.m. on Tuesday. And there's more severe weather over the next couple of nights. Looking ahead to tomorrow, in western Kansas, quite similar to what we've had today. And then again on Wednesday, large hail and damaging winds. Severe thunderstorm watch right now. Most of our counties set to expire at midnight tonight, but some from Furnace County, Rooks County, those are not going to be expired until about 2 a.m. Keep it here. We'll keep you advised. Local storm report just came in about 14 miles northwest of Jetmore in Hodgman County of hail up to the size of quarters. So the largest hailstone that we've had so far today has been golf balls to the south of Beeler. But this right now, quarter-size hail reported 14 miles northwest of Jetmore in Hodgman County. This is really starting to congeal into a line. That one storm that was southwest of Harold that's now pulling into town, it was by itself, but now it looks like that line was starting to catch up to it. And the damaging wind threat, winds from 60 to 70 miles per hour, that's what we'll continue to watch as this line starts to come into Cimarron, Howell, Dodge City, over towards Spearville, along with Chetmore, and pretty soon Bazine. Bazine, you're not under a severe thunderstorm warning, but be watching for the line to come in from the west here shortly. Hi, everyone. KSN Storm Track 3 Chief Meteorologist Lisa Teachman. We are now coming up. We're about 5 minutes away from 8 o'clock, and you're seeing a cluster of a lot of severe thunderstorm warnings in southwest Kansas that includes the city of Dodge City over toward Jetmore, along with Ness City, Ransom, now east of Dighton, including Pierceville and also Cimarron. This is now starting to evolve into a damaging line of winds to 60 miles per hour. We've also had some additional severe thunderstorms in far southwest Kansas, including Morton County. A warning stays in effect until 8:30. These storms are tracking to the northeast. You can get some hail, could even see some hail approaching Moscow, but that storm is not severe warned at this time. The main severe storm threat right now, Dodge City, Cimarron, Pierceville, the hail sizes are coming down, wind speeds are starting to go up. And then we also have a few other thunderstorms across northwest Kansas that also continues to drop in intensity. This one severe thunderstorm warning stays in effect until 8:15 for Thomas County, including Mingo. But the strongest part of the storm is now actually shifted to the east over toward Angeles and now to the east of Grinnell. May get some brief gusty winds. Let me switch this over to velocity and see if we can see any strong winds out of any of these storms here. So south of Cole will be about 45 miles per hour. This is going to be less. Yeah, 28 miles per hour. So I think that warning is just about done. This is turning into more rain with some heavier pockets through northwest Kansas and southwest Nebraska, and what's starting to take the lead is this damaging line over southwest Kansas. Did get a discussion from the Storm Prediction Center a few moments ago, and there is talk that a new severe thunderstorm watch may be issued farther to the east as these thunderstorms continue to maintain their intensity in the central Kansas as the evening and the night goes on. Right now, this is a look at our severe thunderstorm watch. Remember that conditions are favorable for severe thunderstorms to occur. We just got a report of a 64 mile per hour wind gust 4 miles to the northeast of Cimarron in Gray County. Most of these counties that you see here under the watch expire at midnight, but Furnace County is until 2 a.m. Phillips County is also until 2 a.m., along with Rooks County. But once you go over toward Graham County, along with Norton County, you folks expire at midnight. So we'll continue to wait word to see if a new severe thunderstorm watch may be issued for places like Great Bend, Russell, Pratt, Medicine Lodge, over toward Wichita, Hutchinson, and Salina. A lot is going to depend on what happens over the next several hours as this line pushes eastward. But keep it tuned here. We'll continue to keep you advised. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments section, and we'll try to get to that. I know everybody's wondering, when is this going to hit my house? This is an updated look at our timeline at 8 p.m. Shows the thunderstorms in western Kansas doing not too bad of a job with the latest Stormcast model. Then it starts to push over toward Hayes, Great Bend. You still have some activity, northwest Kansas, southwest Nebraska. That comes in from northeastern Colorado tonight, and then it really starts to branch out into a complex of heavy rain and thunder through tomorrow morning. And then tomorrow evening, once again, western Kansas. That's going to push eastward into early Wednesday morning. And then Wednesday afternoon and evening, here comes more thunderstorms over western Kansas. That'll be one complex after another after another. This is also going to allow our rain chances to ramp up. And then the access is going to be from central into eastern Kansas on Thursday. Friday, I think we're still going to have some thunderstorms around. Marginal risk for tomorrow. We'll see if maybe this gets upgraded because some of those thunderstorms tomorrow look quite strong. And then the same goes, just a different day in western Kansas come Wednesday afternoon and Wednesday evening. Keep it tuned here. We'll continue to keep you advised. Hi everyone, KSN Storm Track 3 Chief Meteorologist Lisa Teachman back here in the Weather Center. On the left-hand side of your screen, you're looking at something quite ominous. This is our Dodge City Skyview camera looking to the northwest, and this is a shelf cloud that's starting to come in. So this is telling you that you're going to have some gusty winds, and there is a destructive tag that was put on the severe thunderstorm warning for Ford County until 8:30 and also Hodgman County as well. You could have winds that will be approaching 80 miles per hour. So those of you that live, say, from Howell over towards Sayre, along with Dodge City, Will Roads, Wright, Spearville, and Orwell, please make sure that you are staying indoors. Don't try to watch this storm. You're going to get blasted on the west side of your house as this starts to come through, as winds could be approaching 80 miles per hour. It's the reason why the National Weather Service has opted to go with a destructive severe thunderstorm warning until 8:30 tonight for southern Hodgman County and just about all of Ford County. You're looking at reflectivity. You can see that green line that's over toward Howell. It's going to be an outflow boundary. Well, let me switch over to our velocity product. And there you go. You see those bright, bright greens. This is going to be where you're going to have some of that powerful wind right in here. Winds probably easily topping 75, more than 80 miles per hour. So please use caution. If you know of anybody that could be on the roads right now, any of these roads that I'm zooming in on where we have the bright greens, really, really light greens, that's going to be your 75 to 80 mile per hour winds. That affects southwestern Hodgman County, northwestern Ford County. It's going to be passing just to the north of Howell. If it continues on this track, it'll probably stay to the north of Dodge as well. So southern Hodgman County, good part of Ford County. Be prepared because winds are going to be quite strong. They could be destructive. Get away from windows. Get into the most interior portion of your house as winds now could be approaching 85 miles per hour. We'll continue to keep you advised. Southern Hodgman County and most of Ford County. Be prepared for these strong damaging winds. When you start to see some of these bright greens here, that is going to be winds in excess of 70, even more than 80 miles per hour. Plus, there's also going to be some wind-driven hail. And the hail right now, once you start to see these two colors that are popping up on our legend, that is going to be probably in excess of about ping pong ball size hail. So you're going to have the strong winds. Easily to say at least 55 because it's moving at 55 miles per hour. But with some of those radar returns coming close to the Dodge City National Weather Service office, it'll be in excess of 70 miles per hour. We also have a flash flood warning in effect for Lane County because of one thunderstorm after another. We also have some other flood advisories along with the severe thunderstorm watch that stays in effect until midnight. Although Furnace along with Phillips and Rooks counties, you folks will be under the severe thunderstorm watch until 2 a.m. There is the possibility that the severe thunderstorm watch will be issued farther downstream. That may include Wichita, Hutchinson, and Salina because of the strong winds that are building through southwest Kansas at this time, prompting a destructive severe thunderstorm warning for southern Hodgman and Ford County, including Dodge City, until 8:30 this evening. Keep it tuned here. We'll continue to keep you advised. Let's roll. The wind is now starting to pick up in Dodge City. As you can see, quite the ominous looking sky. That's because we have a destructive severe thunderstorm warning on this from southern Hodgman County into a good part of Ford County. Not to mention the vivid lightning, just one flash of lightning after another. Plus, there's also going to be some hail within this line of thunderstorms that's pushing in from the west, and that will be wind-driven hail that could do a lot of damage. So that's the way it looks to the northwest from our Dodge City Sky View camera. As you can see here, the brand new severe thunderstorm warning has now been expanded over toward Kinsley, including parts of Edwards and also western Kiowa County. This is going to account for some strong winds between 70 and 80 miles per hour. I'm going to step out here and I'm going to show you that we now have the severe thunderstorm warning with the destructive tag that includes Jetmore over toward Orwell, Nettleton, Lewis, Centerview. It goes right up toward Greensburg, Buckland, Bloom, Ensign, Montezuma, along with Dodge City, Cimarron, Spearville. This is going to be the line that will be capable of producing winds up to about 70, maybe even 80 miles per hour. They do have the 80 mile per hour mark on the warning. So an updated look. This was before they decided to expand out the warning to 935 to a little bit larger of an area, because we're now starting to have a bow on Doppler radar, which is an indication that we have some winds that are now starting to pick up. This all started off as storms that were by themselves. Now they've lost the supercellular structure. They're not individual. They're going to be clustered together like the carts of a train. Now they're putting the pedal to the metal and capable of producing some pretty strong winds. And this is where you're going to have some of the strongest of the winds. I'm going to step out and I'm going to put some markers on here because I want to show you just how strong some of these winds may potentially be. Whenever you see the bright greens like that on our velocity product, you're looking at the direction that the winds are moving in relation to the Doppler radar source. So I'm getting about 70 miles per hour. So 70, 75 miles per hour will be most likely within that brighter shade of green. That's going to be passing over toward the Dodge City area, northern Ford County, southern Hodgman County. That's why we have the brand new destructive severe thunderstorm warning that will stay in effect until 9:30 for this evening. It is tracking to the east at about 55 miles per hour. And I mentioned the hail. Whenever you start to see some blacks that are starting to show up, or maybe even some white colors, that's going to be on the higher end, and maybe even some hail that's larger than golf ball size. Although I do think the hail trend is going to continue to drop as the damaging wind threat is going to go up. Plus, we also have to watch out for some flash flooding. We have Lane County under a flash flood warning until Monday evening, this evening at 10:45. We've had so much rainfall here that it's caused a lot of ponding on area roadways. That could slow you down, so please make sure that you find another route. Don't drive through any flooded areas. We also have additional flood alerts for Logan and also Sherman counties as streams, creeks, and rivers are running high through midnight. This is our large severe thunderstorm watch, although Furnace County, Nebraska, along with Phillips and Rooks counties, these three counties have been added to a brand new severe thunderstorm watch that will go until 2 a.m., but most of these counties are set to expire at midnight, and there may be a new severe thunderstorm watch that will be issued farther to the east because of some of the damaging winds that are ongoing across southwest Kansas. We'll continue to keep you advised right here on KSN. Not to mention, we are live streaming Facebook, X, also on YouTube, so catch us over there. And if you have any weather questions, please send them to us. We'll continue to keep you advised right here and at KSN.com. Hello, everybody that is watching us online right now, whether it's Facebook, X, YouTube, or our digital streaming channel. Thank you for watching and seeing how we've been able to not only update all of our alerts on this one interface, but also show you what it looks like with our Skyview cameras and also our updates to our Doppler radar. We have a destructive severe thunderstorm warning that is in effect from Hodgman County over toward Edwards, parts of Kiowa County, just about all of Ford County, along with Gray County. That's because this line is capable of producing winds to 80 miles per hour. A few moments ago, we had a report of winds up to 77 miles per hour close to the Dodge City area, and we can see with our Skyview camera how it is getting rocked back and forth because of the strong winds that are pushing through Dodge City. Not the type of storm that you want to be outdoors in, not the one that you want to be driving in either. So please make sure that if you are in the path of this storm that you are taking precautions to make sure that you are indoors, away from windows, especially the west side of any buildings, because that's going to be some pretty strong winds that are coming in. We've had a report of 77 mile per hour wind gusts around the Dodge City area with this damaging line of storms. Keep it here. We'll keep you advised. Hi, everyone. Chief Meteorologist Lisa Teachman here, getting you an update on the destructive severe thunderstorm warning we have in effect until 9:30 this evening. It includes parts of Hodgman over toward Edwards, western Kiowa, most of Ford County, but also the eastern reaches of Gray County. This line of storms has produced some wind gusts. We had a personal weather station that produced a wind gust up to 77 miles per hour. And the strongest that we have seen so far from the airport in Dodge City is a wind gust that has been around 65 miles per hour. And also, if you've been watching our Skyview camera, it has just been taking a beating. It's on top of a grain elevator off of Wyatt Earp Boulevard, and it's been looking to the northwest. So it was directly looking into the shelf cloud as it was coming in, and then you really started to see the winds just begin whipping as it started to push through the Dodge City area. Some of the strongest winds right now moving through Dodge as we speak, and it looks like, according to velocity signatures, some of the winds still probably packing a punch of about 60 to upwards of about 65 miles per hour. I do think that our velocities, or the wind signatures, have started to come down a little bit as this has started to approach the Dodge City National Weather Service office, from what we've been able to gather here. The strongest of the winds right now are going to be anywhere from about Dodge City upwards toward the Hodgman, Finney County line, but we could also have some pretty strong winds just to the west of the Jetmore area that could be approaching 70, 75 miles per hour if it is similar to what we're seeing here on Doppler radar. So continue to use caution. We have a destructive severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Hodgman County, Gray County, most of Ford County until 9:30, but this also extends over toward Kiowa County right up to Greensburg, and in Edwards County, Kinsley and Centerview. Mineola on the south side is not included, but there's just a little snippet of northeastern Clark County until 9:30. But the strongest of the winds right now seem to be near Dodge City, right up toward Jetmore. Keep it tuned here. We'll get you the updates all evening long. Ready to roll. We interrupt this program to give you an update on some of the intense winds that are tracking through southwestern Kansas as we speak. Our Skyview camera, which is located off Wyatt Earp Boulevard, is looking to the northwest, and it has just been taking a beating this evening. We've had multiple winds gusting anywhere from 60 to upwards of about 80 miles per hour. There was one home recording station reporting a 77-mile-per-hour wind gust near the Dodge City area, and another wind gust at the airport up to about 65 miles per hour in Dodge City. Look at the heavy amounts of rainfall coming down and just how the camera continues to rock back and forth. Let's get you an update. There's a destructive severe thunderstorm warning tag on this. And when we say destructive, that alerts the WIAs, or the wireless emergency alerts that will sound your phone. Anywhere from Jetmore to Dodge City, parts of Hodgman County back toward central and eastern Gray County, most of Ford County, along with Edwards and western Kiowa County, right on up to Greensburg, and a small snippet of northeastern Clark County. Your phones have been ringing if you're within this polygon. This is not one of the storms that you want to go out and drive in, because we're going to have several different areas where winds will be about 65 to 75 miles per hour. There's also been a little bit of rotation evident just to the west of the Dodge City area. Nothing that has prompted a tornado warning at this time, but we are monitoring that behind the scenes. Strongest winds, heavy amounts of rainfall, Dodge City over toward Ensign, including Montezuma, back towards Cimarron, and also toward the Jetmore area. You can see the storm track overlay. It is right on top of your doorstep. Severe thunderstorm warning stays in effect with the destructive tag until 9:30 this evening. The brighter shades of green, you're going to have winds in excess of 60 miles per hour. That puts it anywhere from Dodge City up to the Hodgman and Ford County line, but also approaching the Jetmore area. This is where we're going to have the strongest of the winds. They are tracking primarily to the east, southeast at about 55 miles per hour. So the whole line is going at about 55 miles per hour. So there has been a little bit of rotation just to the west of Jetmore. They have not pulled the trigger to prompt a tornado warning, but we'll continue to monitor that. But you could easily get winds up to about 70 miles per hour there. And the hail is now starting to approach Dodge City. Hail up to the size of quarters will be likely, along with the damaging winds. We also have flash flood warnings in effect for Lane County. Don't drive, don't walk through any flooded areas. We also have flood advisories in effect for Logan and Sherman counties because of all the rainfall that we have received this evening. Severe thunderstorm watch in effect until midnight, but 3 counties have now been added to account for the strong winds that are coming through Dodge City right now. This includes Stafford, Pratt, and Barber counties until midnight. Furnace County, along with Phillips and Rooks counties, will be under a different severe thunderstorm watch until 2 a.m. Keep it tuned here. We'll continue to keep you advised with all of our social media channels as we are live streaming on Facebook, X, and YouTube, always online at KSN.com and our digital channel. Keep it here. We'll have more updates through the evening. Hi, everyone. Chief Meteorologist Lisa Teachman getting you an update on the damaging line of storms from southwest Kansas. Wind speeds have started to drop a little bit. I would still say between 60 and about 70 miles per hour. Some of the strongest wind speeds that we've seen here recently have been close to the Jetmore area in the southern half of Hodgman County. Let's go ahead and take a look at the brand new severe thunderstorm warning that just came in. There's the destructive tag, which accounts for the higher end damaging winds that were moving through Dodge City, also over toward the Jetmore area earlier. But we have a brand new severe thunderstorm warning that includes Clark County and also Meade County, along with southeastern Gray County and just a little bit of southwestern Ford County. This will take us up right until 10 p.m. Some of the strongest of the wind speeds right now. Let's go ahead and switch this over to our velocity products, and wherever you see the brightest colors, that's going to be some of the strongest of the winds. Let's take a look here. Most of these, yeah, they're pretty much close to about 50 to 60 miles per hour. Not nearly as intense as they were earlier, showing us winds nearly 80 miles per hour. Leading edge of this over toward Will Roads. Let me see some of these. Yeah, that'll be a little bit closer to about 60. So we still have a damaging wind threat slicing across central Ford County, also up toward the Jetmore area, and anywhere from about central and southern Hodgman County could also count on some winds that may be up to about 60 miles per hour. We'll continue to monitor the developments of these thunderstorms, but we've had a brand new few more counties that have been added, I guess you could say, to the severe thunderstorm watch until midnight. That includes Stafford, Pratt, and also over toward Comanche County, Barber County. We may see another extension of that severe thunderstorm watch closer to the Wichita area here later tonight. So keep it here. We'll keep you advised. Hi, everyone. It is 9:27. This is KSN Storm Track 3 Chief Meteorologist Lisa Teachman. Just into the Storm Track 3 Weather Center. We've now had an extension to our severe thunderstorm watch farther to the east. This includes Wichita, Hutchinson, Kingman, along with Ark City, Udall, El Dorado, along with Chase and McPherson counties. This is going to be extended until 4 a.m. on Tuesday. Also down toward Oklahoma. Northern Oklahoma is also under this severe thunderstorm watch. It's because of the damaging line of thunderstorms that's tracking through southwestern Kansas. That's going to keep trucking it to the east. And because of that, we still have the potential from 60 to 70 mile per hour winds. Hail, we may have some quarter-size hail, but it looks like the damaging wind threat will be taking center stage. Plus, may have a tornado or two. We can't rule that completely out. We'll continue to monitor it with further updates through the overnight.